The city slept, a vast mosaic of darkened windows and silent streets, but old Mr. Thorne remained awake in his small, book-lined apartment. Sleep felt like a distant shore he could no longer reach. The quiet pressed in, heavy and thick, amplifying the familiar ache of loneliness that had settled deep within his bones since Alara passed. He traced the rim of a cold teacup, staring out at the inky sky, feeling impossibly small and adrift in the vastness of the night. The familiar contours of his chair offered no comfort, only a reminder of the emptiness echoing through the room's. Memories flickered like dying embers, bringing warmth one moment and sharp sorrow the next, leaving him stranded in the long, silent hours before dawn. A gentle sigh seemed to stir the air, not his own, but something softer, woven from the very darkness itself. It wasn't frightening. It felt ancient and strangely comforting, like the scent of old paper or the deep quiet of a forest. Why do you fear the quiet, Arthur? A voice murmured, so faint it might have been the settling of the building or the whisper of wind against glass. Yet it resonated directly in his mind. The voice held the coolness of starlight and the deep quiet of undisturbed earth. Startled, Arthur looked around the shadowed room, seeing nothing but familiar shapes made unfamiliar by the gloom. Who's there? He breathed, his own voice sounding thin and brittle in the encompassing stillness. The darkness seemed to deepen around him, not threateningly, but like a soft, velvety cloak drawing nearer. I am the night, the voice replied, a gentle hum vibrating through the air. I am the space between the stars, the hush before the dawn, the blanket that settles over weary lands. I hold the dreams of millions, Arthur, the whispered hopes and unspoken lullabies. Your sorrow feels loud in my embrace, a sharp note. In the symphony of stillness, Arthur felt a profound calm begin to seep into him, a sense of being witnessed, truly seen, perhaps for the first time since his loss. The oppressive silence transformed into something alive and profoundly peaceful, a presence acknowledging his pain without judgment. I carry the weight of the world's endings and its quiet rebirths, the night continued, its voice a soothing balm. I watch over the seeds pushing through cold soil, the wounded creature finding shelter, the lost child guided home by moonlight. Your loneliness is a deep valley, Arthur, but even valleys are cradled by the earth. I am not emptiness. I am the space where healing begins, where the frantic pulse of day slows, and hearts find room to mend. Let the quiet hold you now. You are not alone within it. Tears, long held back, traced warm paths down Arthur's weathered cheeks. The night's words didn't erase his grief, but they wrapped around it, softening its sharp edges, making it feel part of something larger, something natural and enduring. A soft scratching sound came at his door, distinct in the profound quiet. Startled from the deep communion with the night's presence, Arthur slowly rose, his joints protesting. He opened the door to find a small, thin cat, its fur matted and eyes wide with a mixture of fear and desperate hope. Reflecting the dim hallway light, it looked up at him, letting out a tiny, plaintive meow that echoed the loneliness he knew so well. Without a second thought, Arthur bent down. Well, hello there, little wanderer, he murmured, his voice rough with unshed tears but warm. Seems the night brought you too. He gently scooped the shivering creature into his arms, feeling the fragile weight of it against his chest, a small, living warmth in the vast dark. He brought the cat inside, finding a saucer for milk and an old, soft towel to make a nest near the radiator. The cat drank gratefully, then curled into the towel, purring a sound like a tiny, contented engine. Arthur settled back into his chair, watching the small creature. The night's presence still lingered, a deep, velvety comfort surrounding them both. Thank you, Arthur whispered into the stillness, no longer sure if he spoke to the night, the universe, or simply the profound shift within himself. The crushing weight of solitude had lifted, replaced by a quiet companionship, the cat's rhythmic purring a tangible counterpoint to the night's silent vigil, filling the apartment with a gentle living sound. As he watched the cat sleep, its tiny chest rising and falling peacefully, Arthur felt a profound exhaustion, but it was the good kind, the kind that comes after long-held tension finally releases. The night deepened around him, no longer a void, but a gentle, Watchful guardian, the quiet hum of the city below seemed like a distant lullaby. Now he leaned his head back against the chair, his gaze lingering on the small, sleeping form radiating warmth beside him, and then drifting to the star-dusted sky beyond the window. The night-Euro's embrace felt complete, holding his grief, the rescued cat, and the promise of rest. His eyelids grew heavy, finally surrendering to the pull of sleep he hadn't felt in months, carried gently into dreams on the soft, silent wings of the profound and comforting dark.